It's been a long time since I've made a YouTube video sharing new words that I've learnt, and I'm going to start this one with some rhetoric or literary devices. I do know quite a few literary devices, but I want to put some more to memory. So yeah, that's what I'm going to start this video with. Adinata are purposefully hyperbolic metaphors to suggest that something is impossible, like the classic adage or adage, when pigs fly. So if you don't know what hyperbolic means, it means exaggerated. And Ephemeria, again, I'm not totally sure on the pronunciation of these, but yeah, that is the intentional misuse of one's words part of speech, such as using a noun for a verb, so Facebooking or adulting to be more British. Anastrophe is the transposition of normal word order, most often found in Latin in the case of prepositions and the words they control. Anastrophe is a form of hyperbaton. Hendiadys is the use of two words connected by a conjunction instead of subordinating one to the other to express a single complex idea. So it sure is nice and cool today, instead of saying it sure is pleasantly cool today. So another could be, this bath is lovely and warm, instead of this bath is pleasantly warm. Something like that. So asterismos is simply a phrase beginning with an exclamation. So it could be, gosh, these chickens are delightful. Why would one want to eat them? But just an exclamation without a sentence following is exclamatio. Bedelgemia or abominatio means insults for rhetorical effect. A panalepsis is where the first word of the line is also the last. So yeah, so those are all the rhetoric techniques I prepared to share. And now we are going to move on to some Charles Dickens vocabulary from I've forgotten the name of the book again, because I haven't actually been reading it, I've just been skimming it to get vocabulary, because my concentration is too poor to read novels at the moment. But yes, this is Bleak House 2. So doleful clangor is clanging expressing sorrow or mourning. Benefactors are people who give money to sponsor a personal cause, or it can be people giving help other than money as well. In liquor means drunk. Gruff means rough. A tankard is a beer glass, probably made out of an alloy metal called pewter. Laggard, in this case, a laggard mist is hanging around, but it can also mean slower than desired or expected, or be a noun referring to a person who makes slow progress and falls behind others. Gridiron is a frame of parallel bars or beams, typically in two sets, forming a grid. A taper is a piece of wood used to light candles, so basically a match, and snuffers put candles out. Sauntering is strolling, so walking in a slow, relaxed way. Prodigious is like it's been put on there by a genius. So here we've got a prodigious piece of fur upon the shawl. So they clearly think high of this piece of fur, which is unfortunate because, you know, why should the fur of animals be taken away from them for our sake? And luckily many people agree with me on that now, whereas they wouldn't have done in these days. Wheedle means to cleverly manipulate. To remonstrate is to try to argue back or be defensive. Hospitable relates to hospitality, and it means friendly and welcoming. Airy pinions, so I had to ask my auntie about this, who's a literature expert, and she reckons that in this case it means light wings, but a pinion can also be a cog. Acquiesces is gives in and surrenders. Vivacious is lively. Sagacious is wise and shrewd. Frowsy means scruffy and neglected in appearance. Lovely illustration there. Monomania is exaggerated or obsessive enthusiasm for or preoccupation for one thing. A pretense, in this context, it is claims to have a particular skill or quality, but pretense can also refer to an attempt to make something that is not the case appear true. A tavern is a pub. Jocose means playful or humorous. To corroborate is to give evidence of. Now I love this one. Fetid effluvia, so the single version would be fetid effluvium. These are stagnant, rotten odours. Crannies are like chinks in this context, not the racially offensive context referring to Chinese people. Means small narrow openings, so it's like instead of nooks and crannies here we basically have chinks and crannies, which sounds extremely rude just because I'm used to kind of the other meaning of that word, so it feels odd to say, but of course Dickens wouldn't have felt that way, I imagine. Insatiate or insatiate means unsatisfied. To flit is to come and go quickly in this context, but it can also mean to flee. Pursues its leaden course, here referring to the night, means the night goes on, because of course leaden, you know, as you would think with lead, means heavy and dark. Now this is an interesting one. Physiognomy refers to imagining the brick and mortar as a so here it's referring to the brick and mortar, so it's imagining the brick and mortar as a face, or picturing as a face, and so judging what goes on inside the building by how it looks on the outside. But physiognomy in general is the supposed act of judging character from facial expression. Languishing over tea and toast here means enjoying the toast very much indeed. Tea and toast very much indeed. Venerable means loved and respected. Pertinacity is the quality of sticking with something, and rigour is the quality of being extremely thorough and careful, so of course you can check something rigorously. Broodingly means moodily. Let's see what I've written here. You can brood that your efforts might come to nothing, so that would be like being pessimistic basically. Yeah. I haven't looked up every single word, I don't know, in this book yet, and a lot of the pages have fallen out anyway, which I'm using for blackout poetry, but yeah, I'm just going through the ones that I have looked up, and the video is already quite long. To pervade is to become diffused throughout every part of. So here, haste and excitement is becoming, you know, is spreading around everyone, really. Obliging means thankful to this person here. Propensity is an inclination. Desist, to desist is to cease doing. Bestowing is conferring or presenting, which refers to an honour, right, or gift. Can also mean talkativeness. Oh, hang on, no, sorry. That's the only meaning of bestowing. It's volubility that means talkativeness, and epithet is a term of abuse. Spittoon is a metal or earthenware pot, typically having a funnel-shaped top used for spitting into. Gallows are structures, typically of 2 uprights and a crosspiece, for the hanging of criminals. I'm going to stop there and do a second part.